here among all the gurus. And for the for the information of everyone who is attending this session, um, this is going to be very different. uh, क्योंकि मेरे से normal चीजें होती नहीं. So the different, as in that any session, when you are teaching, okay, uh, you have to give your knowledge to the participant, to the audience. But in this case, I am not a teacher and you are not a student. We all are teachers together. So what I will be doing is sharing suggestions to all the gurus here present here, because uh, my idea of guruness and your idea of guruness may be different or similar, but what it actually achieves is light and love and knowledge for the students and whoever your student is in your life. So this is going to be an interactive session, and most of the teachers present here should be aware that we have to make it interactive. So if in case if I'm asking a question, just unmute yourself and then answer. And if in case the interaction is not happening, then there is no use of me doing anything like this with you guys. So I hope everyone is in accordance with what I said. And this session has 7 steps, and so I'll just run through these 7 steps that I have. So the first step is, where is the guru? Okay, this workshop is called the Super Guru workshop, and the first step is the where is the guru. The second is the knowledge circle. The third is birth of wisdom. Fourth is the creative guru. Fifth is the hope hypnosis. Sixth is the superpower, and seventh is lessons for life. And we will be open, and also when we do this session, I would request all of you to have a lot of questions. Okay. For example, if the session is going on for like 1.5 2 hours, half of the time I will be sharing my opinions and my suggestions with you. The rest of the time I want to take questions. Particularly, I do not want it to be a one-way communication. Is that okay with all? You may unmute and say yes or no.
You can unmute or type in the chat box.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. It is
Yes?
acceptable, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah, yeah. So, which language are you comfortable in, everyone?
Sir,
Sir, English, sir.
English is convenient for everyone, sir.
English is fine with everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If possible, can you switch on your videos, everyone? Whoever can, I just want to, uh, you know, have a face-to-face conversation. So if possible, whoever can may, uh, just switch on the video. So it's better as a communication. Okay. So then let's start. Okay. So the first point, when I said, where is the guru? Now, what do we mean by guru? What is the difference between a guru and a teacher? Anyone, unmute yourself and answer. What is the difference between a guru and a teacher? If in case people are not answering, I'll just pick out names and then you have to answer.
Basically,
yes, sir.
okay.
Yes.
Please, I am mute.
Hello.
Yes, Dr. Sanjay Manocha, please.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Morning, sir.
Sir, what I perceive that a guru is what can be seen in the term of the wholesomeness, means the perfect, and the teacher we say of a particular trait of a particular domain, and guru is being taken in each and every aspect. That is what is
Right.
perceived. Yeah.
Certainly. Very nice, very nice. That is the same thing. Like in Hindi, we call them shikshak in Sanskrit. We call them shikshak. So there is a difference between a shikshak and a guru. Okay. Just like there is a difference between shiksha and vidya. Are you aware of these two words? Shiksha
Yeah.
and vidya.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone, we think of ourselves as teachers, people who are teaching students skill. Okay, but in today's time, only giving a skill, okay, only being a teacher is not enough. Yes, and why it is not enough? Because today is a very holistic environment. Today is not an environment in which a student comes to school to learn a particular skill and then go away. For example, in ancient times, in Greek Mesopotamia, in Arabia, in India, they were teachers who used to teach archery. They were teachers who used to teach religious studies. They were teachers who used to teach a particular skill, warfare skill, or whatever. So students used to go there, learn, and then come back. But today is not that case, because today the whole education system is holistic. For example, if I'm going to, if I'm studying BTech, if I'm studying MBA, if I'm studying, MBBS, I'm not only studying, business management or medical sciences or technology. I'm also learning to be how to be a responsible engineer, how to become a caring doctor, and how to become a wise and a very, very, very smart manager or a leader, business leader. Okay. Now, when we talk about business leaders, or anyone for that matter, is it only the bookish education that is enough for that? For example, if you are a teacher of an MBA class, you are making managers and leaders of tomorrow. Okay. Now, do you think what you're teaching in your management class, it may be accounting, it may be branding, it may be HR, whatever you are teaching, do you think that only the book will teach them to become great business leaders? Yes or no?
No.
No, sir.
Why? Ma'am, tell me.
Sir, book will give only theoretical knowledge. No, sir.
This book will give theoretical knowledge. Yes. Now, what will give the practical knowledge?
A live example, sometimes maybe in the ancient time, they used to show the practicals also. Maybe taking to that particular place where they have to do that one. Nowadays, we don't
Okay.
have that.
And also, practical knowledge also means that you are sharing an experience with them. Okay. Now, an experience is not a mono way thing; it's a multi-way thing. Okay. Mono way means one path. Multi-way means multiple paths. Okay. Now, when you are sharing an experience, it is a combination of many things together, isn't it? For example, if I am a manager of a factory, now that factory is making, suppose, plastic bottles. Okay. Now I have to take care of the plastic bottle production also. I have to take care of the people also. I have to take care of the environment also, because it is a plastic bottle factory. Okay. I have to take care of the upper management also. I have to take care of the finances also. Now, when I'm talking about all these things, the whole experience in the factory is dependent upon many factors. That I'm taking care of the environment also, I'm taking care of human emotions also, I'm taking care of raw material and finances also. Now, that is what is creating an experience, and that is why when we are talking about a guru is not a skilled teacher. A guru is someone who is a guide, who is a philosopher, who is a kind of a focus light that shows the path to people. Now, in our lives, most of us have chosen, teaching, for X reasons. Now, I want to ask you, why are you a teacher, or why are you a guru? Uh, Anyone, what was your motivation to become a teacher? And please be very frank. Yeah. Shobha Rani, ma'am, please tell. Shobha Rani, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please tell. Why are you a teacher? What do you teach?
I teach artificial intelligence, sir.
Oh, wow, ma'am. Amazing. I have no intelligence only. You must install artificial intelligence.
Well, so fortunate to talk for to talk with the Padma Bhushan or Padma Shri awardee. We are all so fortunate. We all should thank to HR madam
Really,
and
thank you.
director madam. We are so proud,
Thank
sir.
you.
We have got an opportunity to talk to you. And your dedication while traveling also you are taking. Yes, sir.
Ma'am, actually, my dedication is like secondary. It is my passion and it is my selfishness that I am talking to you. Not because of the financials that are involved, but because of the thing that, I'm not talking to 36 odd people here. I'm
Yes, sir.
talking to 36 crore people. Okay. Because
Okay.
if you're a teacher, ma'am, you
Yes,
have
sir.
the opportunity, you have the power to affect at least 1 crore people in your life. And I'm
Yes,
talking to 36 crore people, right?
yes, sir. Yes,
And that is why it is such an honor for me that ma'am considered me to take this session. So I'm so happy. And in
sir.
any
Yes,
part of the session, if you're getting bored, please ask me. I will switch it off. I will go away. I do not want to be this to be a imposition upon any of you. Okay, I hope all of you agree. So ma'am, Shobha Rani ma'am, tell me, why did you want to become a teacher, or how did you come?
sir, this is not with the passion I have become. First, I was, to be frank, I was a programmer. Due to the family situations, I have become a teacher. Then it has become a passion for
Mhm.
me. Few years
Oh
before.
wow, amazing.
Uh,
Mhm.
Before, maybe at the beginning of my career, I was working as an IT. I was working in IT. Maybe
Mhm.
now I love to interact with the students. I love to take the classes. I feel that I am the happiest person right from morning 8 o'clock to till 4 o'clock, because all the time I believe will be with my students. And
Wow, amazing.
age also will be like teenager age, or maybe at the age of 20 to 21. The thinking, everything, we will have only that, sir. That is the impact of the students to us. We always feel young, and we'll have that enthusiastic feeling that we have to learn a lot. And at the same time, at least among 60 students, at least 2 students, if I'm able to convert a good citizens of India in all aspects, then I'm a good achiever, sir.
Yes, thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank
It's such a nice thought. B. Kannadasan, I can see. Mr. B. Kannadasan, can you share? I think he or she is not there. Uh, Miss Farhana Kareem, not there.
She's there, sir. She's there.
So Miss Kareem, please tell.
Ma'am, are you able to hear us? Farana, ma'am. I think so. She is not able to hear us. Farana, ma'am, are you able to?
Okay,
No, sir. She is not getting our voice.
okay, Mr. Praveen Kumar Gupta.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Please tell.
Thank you. Let us have a face-to-face.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah.
So, firstly, it's a pleasure.
But we are not able to see your face.
I have switched on my video.
Yeah, but you have to shift it little bit down, sir.
Okay, okay,
Your
just
head is visible. Your face is not visible.
okay. Let me change to spotlight, normal. Change layout, auto. Okay, is it visible now? Anyways, that doesn't matter. The spoken words matter.
Yes. Please continue.
Basically, the story which was told by just now, the previous participant, the same is the story about me. Like initially, some other profession, and then there are some constraints in life, and then you switch to teaching, and then finally you end up loving what you are doing. So that's how it evolved. That's what I have to
Right.
say. Yeah.
Amazing, sir. Nice.
Yes, yes, yes.
I think this question has a similar answer. That most of us, wanted to do something else in life, and but we ended up teaching. Okay, most of us, in mastery करते हैं. That means though people who do not do anything, they do mastery as in teaching. Okay, now that is a very derogatory thought and a term, because for me teaching has been such a passionate journey, because I was an IRS officer, Indian Revenue Services. I cleared UPSC at the age of 22. I went into RBI as a vigilance officer, scale 5, and I worked for 7 months and then I left it. And after that I have given my life
Sir, sir,
into into in,
sir,
into the service.
sir, can I
Yes,
interrupt you for a while?
please tell me.
Yeah, basically, I tried civil services. I'm retired her twice. I gave names. So, and at the second time, I spoke in the house, in my house, to my parents, that even if I'm selected, I will not join. And fortunately, I was not selected.
Oh wow.
So
Amazing, sir,
I did
amazing.
not have to go the way you had to go, literally. That first you have
Yes,
to
yes.
get through and then come back.
यस 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 सर, वो कहते हैं ना कि एक बड़े पहलवान को हराने के लिए पहले उसे हराना पड़ता है. You
Correct.
cannot be a weakling. You cannot be a weakling and tell the stronger, no, I spare you. You go away. You have to defeat him and then you have to go away. And
Yes,
then so
that is true.
that is
That is
only
true.
then you can spare them.
But when you said that you left it, so that is where I felt that yes, now I can share it.
Because I always believed that I have only I lost my father in an accident when I was 12, and I saw him on the road when he passed away, and that created a huge dent in my mind. I was already compromised. I have two mental conditions called dyslexia and synesthesia. Dyslexia, you must all be aware of. There is a movie called Tare Zameen Par by Amir
Yes.
Khan,
Yes,
and
yes.
in that the protagonist is Ishan Avasthi, and now the same condition I have. The second condition I have is called synesthesia. Synesthesia is a condition in which all the senses mix up together. For example, this shirt is white. You know this is white. Why? Because you are looking at it. But while I'm looking at it, I'm also listening to it. I'm also tasting it. I'm also smelling it, and I'm also feeling it. The color. So this is synesthesia. Now, because of this, my education was a very dwindled kind, because I could not understand most of the things I was being taught in school. So I was saying that I left my jobs to pursue education and teaching. Why? Because I think this is the only career which can actually change the way the world is. It is the only career. You cannot even make great discoveries, being a scientist, then you can make great discoveries by being a teacher. It is so important, and it is so engaging, and it is so giving, because the kind of stress people feel in corporate, they do not feel that stress in colleges. There are different kinds of stress, but it is not derogatory, it is not depreciating, it is not deprecating, it is not something that consumes you. It is something that makes you more, isn't it? That when we every day when we are into the classes, actually we are teaching, we may be teaching them artificial intelligence or finance or marketing or technology or signals, but actually we are teaching them life. We are teaching them life, because the time that they are in the class, you are teaching them artificial intelligence or you are teaching them biology, but they are not learning biology or artificial intelligence or maths from you. They are learning how you are. They are learning how your behavior is. They are learning how you deal with situations. They are learning how you deal with life. They are learning you. So the greatest knowledge you can give to your students is not your knowledge of book. It is the knowledge of yourself, the knowledge of you. Do you get it? that actually their textbook is us. Agar, if my students are learning anything, they are learning Swapnil Tiwari, they are learning the madman. They are looking at me, they are throwing questions at me, they are throwing things at me and seeing how I deal with them. Because we all are actually monkeys, we are apes. We are, creatures of habit. We are creatures of imitation. And that's why the whole learning thing is a generational thing. When students look at teachers, they try to imitate them, whatever, positive or negative. That, this is something that, my teacher did, and that is what I'm going to do. That is what monkeys do. And we are the higher form of monkeys. And that is why living by example, teaching by example is the best way to be. And that is what we all must do. Because in a accounts class or a management class, you're not teaching accounts and management. You're teaching them the power of transaction. Now that transaction can be in form of money, or that transaction can be in form of love, care, compassion, kindness, hope. Okay. So every aspect of studies, every aspect of education has a direct link to what human life is. Okay. So when I ask you, why are you a guru? Your answer may be different. Like someone always wanted to be a teacher. Someone always wanted to be, a guru. But there are people who chose this profession due to some other, situation in their life. But since now you are a guru, you must be fullest at it. Yeah, you must be fullest at it. Because if you are not full, you will be living a half life. And living a half life is useless. And I've seen, when I go to, I talk to many people across India and the world, and many as teachers as well. I see them, they are there in their profession, but they most of the time they do not understand the value and the importance of their profession. Because if you all these 40 people, odd people who are here, if you all will be working in an IT industry or some management firm or whatever, in a factory or or a service industry, you would be affecting 10, 15, 20, maximum 100 people. Yeah, maximum. But when you are a teacher, you are responsible for crores of lives. Because the 50, 60, 100 odd people you are teaching or meeting every day are in turn meeting and teaching 50 or 100 people every day. Interesting, na? How? These students also, they are also teaching everyone everything. You also know that many students go into drugs and into smoking and drinking. Now, how do you think, and how can you make sure, or how do you know that these things are being taught at a school? Yeah, do we need a school to learn smoking? Answer. Please be interactive. I don't want a quiet session. I'll switch off the session if you're not speaking. Do you need a school for smoking?
No.
Shamshad Begum, ma'am, please tell me. You are quiet. Shamshad Begum, ma'am. She is off of my class.
No, sir, we don't need a school to learn those habits, sir.
So if in case there was a school for drinking, okay, how to make the final, peg and good glass of alcohol or smoking. If there was a school, okay, it would be teaching that. But still people learn that. Where do they learn from? Tell me now. Acha, is there a school to disrespect women? Is there a school for that? Is there a school for unkindness and being cruel? Is there a school for that? Siddharth Dhawade ji, please tell. Hello, hello. People are off or are they bored?
No,
Are
not like
you
that.
bored?
No, sir. No,
I don't
we are
think-
listening and participating, sir.
Hmm.
We will
So
love to
what I mean
participate
to
as and
say
when
is,
it is being asked. Yeah.
so I'm asking, so participate now. That is there a school to disrespect women?
No.
I don't think so.
Is there a school? Is there a school for being cruel? Is there a school for being unkind? No, na. So how do people, become that? How do people become smokers? How do people become alcoholics? How do people become lazy? How do people become unkind? How do people become cruel? And how do people dare to disrespect the creator of this world, women? Where do they learn all of this? Answer. Syed Asif sir, please answer.
So the behavior of the parents and the behavior of the elders or maybe the family members. One
Society.
part of the
No.
behavior of the
I
Acha,
school.
will
okay.
yeah.
Okay, one second. If you say, Shobharani ma'am, that from my parent, if I am a father, I will not teach him smoking, or I will not teach her to drink alcohol. Where are they getting taught?
No,
Sir,
what I
I
mean to say that I have seen practically the father wants the son to buy cigarettes from the shop. Okay, the son, like, practically I just see the son had an intention
Okay.
what dad is doing in that area.
So that is one of the examples. Yes. Okay. Fine. Get it.
in this
Hmm.
also I would like to say, sir, we can't take it as a 100% of the guarantee that what fathers or what the family do, their children will be doing the same thing exactly. They will be copying them. I can also quote the practical example of दाऊद इब्राहिम. दाऊद इब्राहिम के जो फादर हैं वो पोस्ट ऑफिस में काम करते थे, या वो शायद पुलिस में थे, और वो खुद उनका बेटा जो है
Right.
वो अंडरवर्ल्ड डॉन बनाया.
डॉन बन
तो
गया. सही बात.
यस, तो देर
हाँ.
आर
तो इसीलिए
यस.
So easily the biggest school that students have is the school of the peers. They learn from each other. So one guy or one girl from somewhere would learn something like this, okay, a bad trait, and then all of them would learn from them, okay. So that means the students are teachers themselves. The students are teachers themselves, and they are teaching each and everything to each other. That means that when we think, why I'm talking all of this is, and I'm taking time on this particular step, is that when we are teaching our subjects, we must not think ourselves as the experts of only that subject. That means you do not have to become a teacher, you have to become a guru. You get it, everyone? It may be in your job description that you have to teach, mechanical engineering or whatever, or finance or English or psychology. It may be in your job description, but it is not in your, ethic description, because ethical description people do not give. Does this college in whichever you are in right now, or wherever you were employed earlier, or wherever you will be employed tomorrow, do they give ethical description also apart from JD? No. It is something that has to be understood. It is something that has to be inculcated from within. It has something that has to be ignited from within, isn't it? Because you learned the skill, whatever you are teaching, you learned that skill through life, but you learned life all along, isn't it? You learned life all along. If you think that you are a successful human being, that does not mean that you are a successful engineer. And to become a successful human being, you must have human traits. And once you have human traits, only then you become a successful human being. And a successful human being, when he or she learns a skill, he becomes a great guru. Write this down. That a successful human being who knows life plus skill is equal to guru. That is the definition of guru. That is the equation of guru. Is everyone getting what I'm saying, or am I going too far off? You may switch on your mute and tell me. Fine? Shashikant Tripathi ji.
Yes, sir, we are getting you.
Everyone liking the session, or should I change the course?
No, no, sir. It's wonderful, sir. We are
You
learning
may
from
just
your
type,
experiences,
chat
from your
also.
wisdom.
It is
Nasir
wonderful,
sir.
sir.
Please tell.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is
Okay,
very,
thank you.
a very good session is going on, sir.
Mhm. So now understand that becoming a teacher and becoming a guru is different. Okay, a teacher is teaching only a skill that he or she has learned through, a 4 to 5 or 6 or 7 years course. But you are 30, 40, 50 years old people, 60 years old people. Now you learn that skill in 6 or 7 years. If you are 40 years old, 7 years you learned that skill, but 33 years you learned life. You learned life. So when I have to teach, why am I only teaching skill? Why am not teaching life? Get it? Shamshat, madam, do you get it? Yeah. Everyone. That आप ये कहते हैं ना कि the more you practice, the more you become an expert. Understand that whatever your life is, okay, just subtract the skill, learning phase. Suppose you have done BTech and B.Ed and BCom or whatever, PhD. Just subtract that time period from your life. Whatever is remaining is your experience of life. है ना, बड़ा beautiful equation है. Because since you were a child, you learned life, you learned people, you learned kindness, you learned compassion, you learned cruelty, you learned anger, you learned disrespect, you learned respect, you learned everything, and then you chose what you want to become. We all are actually creatures of choice. हम चूज करते हैं. मेरे सामने दोनों चीजें आई. For example, with me, I used to work in red light areas. Now in GB Road in Delhi, when I first went, I was a 24-year-old young guy. Now I'm like 6 feet 1 inches. I'm 110 kgs in weight. Okay, so and when I was going inside the brothel, now what would anyone think that I am there to extract sexual pleasures? And once I went inside, there were 12, 13-year-old girls who would come to me and say, "Aao Raja, idhar aa jao, falana, this and that." I cried. I said, "Beta, idhar nahi, udhar chalo, udhar class ho." I went them to teach there. And I opened a agarbatti factory in that brothel. Now I had two choices at that moment. I am a sexually active man. I have urges too. Now if I have an urge looking at a woman who is beautiful, who is scantily clad, I may give in to that temptation and then do whatever I have to do. Hello. Is my voice audible?
Yes, certainly.
Yes, sir. Very much audible, sir.
So I can go and satiate myself. I can do anything there. But then I also had an option of being someone else, being something more. And that is what I did. So we all are actually creatures of choice. And that is what I want all of you to do. That you only want to become a teacher who is teaching a skill, or you want to become a guru who is something more, who is someone more, who is teaching the skill and life both. imagine if a student is meeting, suppose 10 teachers a day, okay, he or she is learning 10 skills a day, and if every teacher along with the skill they also teach a bit of life to them, then they will be learning 20 skills a day. Why? Because they are learning 10 technical skills and they are learning 10 different life skills. My life skill is different from Nikhat ma'am or Nasir sir or Shobha ma'am. We all have different lives and we all have different learnings. And if we all are sharing that learning with them, they're learning actually 20 skills. And imagine if a student is going through so much experience, if they are being exposed to so much knowledge, what an amazing thing it would be, isn't it? Yeah. So this is the first part that I talk about, where is the guru. I hope my first part is clear with everyone. Please open your mic and tell me. Then I will move to the next.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, it is clear, sir.
Please tell if you're liking the session. Otherwise, I'll change the course of the session. Do you like the session? Any judgments about me?
You go
Nikhat,
ahead,
ma'am,
sir. We are
you only
liking
tell
the
me.
session, sir.
Nikhat, ma'am, everything's fine, or am I being kicked off?
Yes, sir. Everything is fine. I think participants are enjoying your session, sir. So they want to listen to you. So you can
Thank you.
continue with your session.
Okay. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is called the knowledge circle. Okay, please write down whatever you feel relevant, because I will give an assessment as well, which in which you have to just there's no wrong and right, but then there are preferable answers. So I will give the answer key as well. So you may have to fill that after the session or whenever. So the second part is called the knowledge circle. Okay. So what is a knowledge circle? I want to listen from all of you or some of you apparently about your knowledge strategy. How do you gain and give knowledge? Anyone? Just tell your name and then start. सब सो गए क्या?
Hello.
ऐसा तेज बोलता हूँ इसीलिए ताकि नींद ना आए. हाँ जी,
Yes.
संजय सर आप मत बोलिएगा एक मिनट अभी. अब I will pick people. You have been very very interactive. Thank you for that. लेकिन ये कि बाकी लोग सो रहे हैं, मैं सबको जगाता हूँ. Dr. J. Joshua Daniel Raj, please tell. What is your knowledge strategy? I will pick out people now. If you are here just for the present sake, please get out of the room right now. I don't want people who जिनके ऊपर impose करूँ मैं knowledge. I don't like such people at all. So I will pick out people. You please answer. Dr. J. Joshua Daniel Raj, please tell. What is your knowledge strategy? How do you learn and how do you give knowledge? He's not there. Okay. Ikhlaq Khan Sahab.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me.
Sir,
can I?
Yes, please. Yes, please. कौन है यहाँ पर? Preeta Ravichandran, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Gaining knowledge is through several
Please.
sources. It can be a range of sources, even a bit of paper which comes along, a packaging that we from the groceries that we buy. If it is relevant to our domain, I have the habit of reading it and getting some kind of inputs from that. And the other part is how do you give knowledge, isn't it, sir? So giving knowledge, basically we teachers, we act as facilitators, and we adopt a participative mode when we give knowledge, like how you do now. So that's it.
Okay. Okay. Nikat ma'am, I have a thing I want to ask you. I have been picking out people and they have not been answering. Okay. So either what they have done is that they have logged in here and then they are doing their own sweet work. Okay. So I want to, and this is specifically because this is a disrespect to the knowledge being shared. Okay. So as a policy, I do not allow students in my class who are not interested at all. Okay.
Mm.
So if someone's voice thing and video thing is not working, they must at least give a response in the chat. Okay, that they cannot hear, they cannot see, whatever. Okay? But if they are not responding, please remove them from this session. I don't want them. Okay. So whoever I'm picking out right now, if they do not give a chat, if they do not say anything, if they do not show themselves, please remove them from this session. Sorry to say this, but this is a disrespect of my knowledge, and please comply with this. Okay.
Sir, see, I'm not favoring the participants. उनका एक थोड़ा problem भी है sir, because they have to do their routine work along with the STTP sir. So few have got the permission to attend completely, sir. Few have not received the permission to attend completely. So they have to take the lectures in between, sir.
So why are they logged in here?
नहीं सर, वो लोग बीच में जब जैसे ही लेक्चर खत्म होता है वो हाफ में अटेंड कर लेते हैं लेक्चर्स. That's a problem.
अभी तो कुछ लोग logged in दिख रहे हैं मेरे को.
Every colleges have not given the permission for attending because they need to take permission for 6 days to attend the training programs. So few people have got the permission, those who are constantly online. ये थोड़ा टीचिंग का प्रॉब्लम है सर.
Kindly.
चलिए.
Sir, you are
Sir,
good. Please don't get angry and go away from the mood, sir. We are listening to you, sir. Please.
नहीं मैं आपके लिए अकेले बोलूंगा शोभा मैम. मैं इसके लिए मैं एक आप मेरे लिए बैठे रहेंगे, मैं आपके लिए बोल रहा हूँ 6 घंटे.
प्रॉब्लम ऐसा नहीं है कि जस्ट दे आर अटेंडिंग, ऐसा प्रॉब्लम सर, वो जेन्युइन प्रॉब्लम है उनकी साइड से, बिकॉज़ दे ऑल आर वर्किंग सर. सो
लेकिन वही है कि मतलब जब आना होता तो आ जाते हैं, अभी लॉग इन करके बैठे हुए हैं, वो वाली चीज गलत है. हाँ
सर जो एक्टिव पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं सर, आप उन्हीं पे ही अभी इन्वॉल्व कर लीजिए सर. काइंडली प्लीज. जो पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं उनकी सिचुएशन को देखते हुए.
पता है क्या, मेरे को यही नहीं पता चलता कि कौन एक्टिव है, क्योंकि क्या सब लॉगिन दिखा रहे हैं.
नहीं, सबके सर कैमरे ऑन करवा लो.
आप भी बोलिए.
कैमरे ऑन करवा लीजिए सर.
कैमरे ऑन करवा लीजिए. हाँ, सब लोग कैमरे ऑन करते हैं.
इसके कैमरे ऑन है सर, वही उनको एंगेज कीजिए अपनी डिस्कशंस में सर.
हाँ. इवन इफ यू डू नॉट वांट टू शो योर फेस, तो आप थोड़ा सा किनारे करके ऑन कर सकते हो, ताकि मुझे पता चले कि कौन प्रेजेंट है यहाँ पे. ठीक है ना?
No, it's not like that.
तो संजय जी बताइए, आप आंसर दे रहे थे इसका.
Yes. Can you pardon sir the question?
हाँ, नॉलेज स्ट्रेटेजी. मैंने नॉलेज स्ट्रेटेजी का पूछा था कि आपकी नॉलेज स्ट्रेटेजी क्या होती है. हाउ डू यू लर्न एंड हाउ डू यू गिव, मतलब आपकी स्ट्रेटेजी क्या है. लेट्स लर्न फ्रॉम ईच अदर ना. हो सकता है आपसे मैं कुछ सीख लूं, मेरे से आप कुछ सीख लो. बताइए
sir. With due regard to all the participants and humble regards to you also sir, knowledge we are learning, we are taking it from the earlier childhood only. कि जब भी हम किसी को काम करते हुए कोई देखते हैं, through observation we take the knowledge. By reading the books we take the knowledge, and by asking means exploring the world we take the knowledge. And all these things basically through the learning and observation, by seeing the people how they are behaving, how they are doing, and by reading the books also, by knowing the concepts, getting the clarity, by attending the various conferences or the congregations, we took knowledge, we gain knowledge. And whenever we are giving
ये आपने gain कर लिया. How do you give? What is your strategy to transfer this knowledge?
Okay, so now sir, whenever we are transferring this knowledge, first of all sir, I as I use very systematic approach to study, and a systematic approach to process the things also. So whenever we are going to the classes, so by first we need to understand, we need to connect with the students, means what are their requirements and how what is their level of understanding the things, of learning, because every individual will be having a different learning mindset. And by understanding that, we try to connect with them, and with best of the possible illustrations, or the experiences, or the knowledge text which we can share with them, and also involving them, because the knowledge will be learned only when they are involved in the discussions, or they are participating as is being asked in that show.
Okay, great. Anything else that someone does different? Anyone in the class here? If anyone has a different strategy to teach, or knowledge delivery, or knowledge strategy, is there anything else that I may add? Praveen sir, anything, any extra points that you want to add?
Nothing that the model we follow of the education, if there is a dichotomy with reference to employability, as we are working in the private sector. So if there is a dichotomy, then what we do is there is a mismatch between the syllabus and the requirements of the industry. So that thing needs to be addressed, and that we address
practical points.
So that we address,
giving
like,
examples and practical points.
Yes, we give a demo.
Right. Brinda ma'am, Brinda TN.
I think this is something, no? I was just unmuting to thought of answering and you called my name.
Pardon?
Could you hear me?
Yes, I can. What did you say?
I was just unmuting to give an answer and you exactly called my name.
So that is like telepathy going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Hello,
like
Brinda ma'am.
Hello, sir. I also, before answering, I would also take an excuse. I had a doctor's appointment, so I joined really late. And when I was joining, you were talking the difference of being a guru and a teacher. So I was actually silent to try to understand what would have gone through. So though I couldn't grasp everything, I think to the question that you were asking, maybe I have two answers. So the first one would be, when I was also a teacher sometime back in Crescent itself. So when I was taking classes, especially in my laboratory classes, what I used to do is we have laboratory manuals and stuffs and all. But the thing is, I found it outdated, because when I studied, I used a kind of same procedures. And when I was working for a few years, I thought it was what I studied in the book and what was applied in the industry was not the same. So when I came to teaching, I used to ask the student, okay, they'll be having the same copied version in their practical books, actually, record books. But then I'll also ask them to leave two or three pages in between every experiment. They can write, but then they should leave 2-3 pages. And before coming to do every experiment, they have to go and talk to, before at least a week, every week, they have to go and talk to experts of that field. They can find it from their relatives, friends, or father, parents, or anywhere. And they have to find what is the industry procedure of the same. And I did have the behavior of before taking up any laboratory in that vacation. I mean, we always been given the subject at least 20-25 days before. So in that case, before taking any subject, I used to go to that government office of that particular lab. If at all it is environmental laboratory, I used to go to the Metro Water office. And I'll try to take a training. I mean, I'll at least try to understand what is going on. So then I come and teach my students on the same regard. My Viva questions will be on that regard. What is happening? What is the procedure that they already have, and what is the industry procedure that has been followed? And students have to give me what is the gap in between. What is industry followed procedure and what is in the book? They also have to tell me the gap, and we'll be discussing. Basically, this was my teaching strategy. And my second answer, on a personal note, how I actually adopt knowledge sharing or knowledge taking. On the note, I always follow this method, plus minus equal to. So where plus is, I have the habit of learning from people who I feel knows a bit more than me on any, even if not by age, but by expertise or knowledge, from people who know more than me. And then when I know, again I go and discuss with my peers, which is equal to my friends and peers. I kind of have equal groups and I discuss. I network with various groups. And once I feel like, okay, I kind of know a little bit about it and I've discussed, I have this habit of making it into a content. I'm a trainer right now, so I also make it into a content and I take it to students or to the corporates and I make it as a content and train it. So it is plus is learning from people who are more knowledgeable than you, equal to like sharing and discussing with people who are equal knowledgeable to you, and minus is dissipating the knowledge, that is giving or teaching the knowledge to people who don't know the same particular knowledge. I adopt this
Right.
strategy, and this is giving me a kind of holistic or wholesome approach of learning any concept basically.
Right, right. That is so amazing. And I must say again that
Yes, sir.
everyone present here who is listening, learn from this strategy. Plus minus equal. This is an amazing strategy for knowledge gaining and dissemination. And this is another aspect of how we all are actually doing that all the time. It is just that when we have this model, it is easier for us to consciously do it. Okay. Actually, we are learning from people who know more than us, and we are giving out to people who know less than us, or we may be sharing with people who are equal in knowledge with us. But actually, when we have a model kind of a thing inside our minds, it gives a more, clear vision of how to and why to approach a knowledge and ingest it. Thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you for sharing.
I
Please
just
be with
wanted
us.
to add one more point to that. When you said
Sure,
that
sure.
minus we are giving, when you actually try teaching the same knowledge, you kind of learn more because you want to be, you are more, I mean, at least to me, I'm like, what if people come and question me about this, especially to youngsters? They question you in a
Definitely,
very,
definitely.
they question
That's
you
what.
from everywhere.
Ah,
So you learn more
and that's
than
why,
what you have
even
learned from the people who know more than you.
and in the start of the session only, I told that for 1 odd hour I will be teaching, and for another 1 hour or half an hour, I will be taking questions, because these questions are important. Okay, these day-to-day life questions, is something that you might contradict you, that is something I'm saying and it does not fall right with you. I want to discuss. So that's why we'll just push off with our next points, and then probably we can take questions, so that it is a more holistic learning experience for all of us. So very, very nice, ma'am. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank
So
you.
when this knowledge strategy we all think about, we all have different forms of and different ways of ingesting knowledge. But self-teaching is very important. How to get self-taught? And self-taught, as ma'am said, she actually covered that point, that there is this plus minus equal thing. That's amazing, and it can be implemented here. That self-teaching is something that is within you. That is not something that you have to be pushed to do it. Like if someone is in IT industry, there are different technologies that are coming in every day. Okay. Now, if you are interested in IT and if you love coding, okay, you would automatically learn them by searching for it. But someone says कि no, आजकल ये चीज बड़ी चल रही है, SAP HANA बड़ा चल रहा है. This is something which is working good these days. You must learn it. Okay. Now then it might not be something that you do it for teaching purpose. You might be doing it for learning purposes and then working. But for teaching, you must be learning what you are passionate to do. Because if you are not passionate, you would not be able to teach that skill. You get the difference? If you are a professional, if you are an IT professional, you can learn the skill and work and then earn money. But if you're a teacher, you must only learn things you are passionate about, because you have to disseminate, you have to contribute, you have to share it with people. And people only understand the voice of passion. You may or may not like my session, but I know that you like my passion, isn't it? Can you see that passion on my face? Can you see that madness on my face?
Yes, sir.
People.
Yes.
Yeah? I may be saying things that are, this white wall is like an elephant. I may be saying that, but you like my passion. Because people are not only communicating in words and knowledge and expressions, they are also communicating in passion. And if you have to teach, if you have to make someone learn, you must have a lot of passion and that madness in you. So here, self-teaching, in self-teaching, you must learn things that you are passionate about. If you are not passionate about it, just work with it, but you cannot teach that. Okay, you may not teach that. Like, people do it, but I don't agree with it. So I won't teach you that, because I will teach you amazing guru-ness than teaching-ness. Yeah. So next point, we will go to the birth of wisdom. Okay. Now, when we go to the birth of wisdom, why am I talking about philosophy here when we are just talking about being a teacher? What has philosophy to do with teaching? Now, behavioral psychology is something that is not individualistic. It is always in form of an interaction. How I interact with my students or my participants, and how they respond to my teaching or whatever I'm doing with them. Okay. So that is the behavioral psychology of teaching. Now, I want to ask you again, some of you may unmute yourself and answer, that when you are teaching, what are the biggest challenges that you face? Please be quick. I just want 2 to 3 sentences. So anyone unmute yourself and then say, what are the biggest challenges that you face?
I think some technology. I think they fiddle the mobile phone most of the time. They get engaged with the mobile phone. The last benchers, basically.
Like me, I was always a last bencher.
Yeah. Even I was, sir. But technology has like creeped in, kind of. It has.
Okay. So the first challenge is, so what we can do also is, like, we will write these challenges off. I will write these challenges, and probably during the question answer session or something like that, we will try to answer these challenges for all of us. Would that be good? All of you agree with this? Yeah. So क्या है, थोड़ा सा प्रैक्टिकल रहेगा ये सेशन भी, वरना क्या है, मैं बोलता रहूंगा 6 घंटे तक, कोई फायदा नहीं. ठीक है. हाँ. तो इसलिए ये चीज बढ़िया रहेगी. हाँ, कुछ कह रहा है कोई?
नहीं, I agree, sir.
है ना? Nikat ma'am, is that fine? We will also answer challenges with students. Huh? Is that fine?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep. So ये practical रहेगा sir. Okay. So the first challenge is ma'am आप कह रहे थे is technology and mobile phone ना?
Yeah.
But इसके पीछे problem क्या है? Now technology में वो लोग लग जाता है, यानी कि they are getting disarrayed, यानी कि disinterest, यानी कि they are getting that kind of a distraction. So the first challenge I will write as distraction. Okay. Second part, what are the biggest challenge during teaching? Anyone else?
This is sir, students engaging student in the classroom discussion, because not every student is participative.
So when you ask questions, they do not respond, right?
Not all of them respond. There are only 2 or 3 students who will be active in participation.
Good.
But engagement of all the students become a challenge for the teacher, because it demotivates if the students don't participate.
Fine. So that means that they are not, enough. We do not have enough confidence, right? So lack of confidence, right? Yeah. That is what you mean to say?
Lack of confidence in what sense, sir?
Lack of confidence in students, na? That's why they are not confident enough to answer, right?
They may be.
It is not like that. Though they know the answer also, nowadays few of the students not interested to answer. They have the knowledge. They have the
knowledge. They have the facilities, but they don't want to participate.
Why?
Because the classmates are not answering, they feel that why should we also answer?
So the problem is fear of rejection.
Yes.
They feel that if they answer, if they gave it right, then other people, oh साला ज़्यादा पढ़ रहा है, oh क्या पढ़ रहा है, तो उसका मजाक उड़ाएंगे. अगर उसने गलत दिया तो oh साले ये भी नहीं पता तेरे को. आप समझ रहे हो इस चीज को? That we all are going through this fear of rejection, and we all want to fucking conform. We all want to conform. कि वो ऐसा है तो हम भी ऐसे, वो ऐसा है हम भी ऐसे. And if the whole huddle is like the same. They feel more comfort in that. They feel more comfortable where everyone is same, even if they are at a very low level. I will give you an amazing answer. If you go to a D grade or a C grade college, all the students will be like the same. Nobody would be a black sheep. Few would be a black sheep. Otherwise, all will be like same. They would come to college, hey, what are you doing? Ah, that girl, oh, wow, she's so amazing. Ah. And let's go drink and smoke and then have ganja. And then while having ganja, they will be saying this is like the prasad of Shiva. Now you see patterns here. Okay, I study everything. Okay. Now with ganja, must be knowing marijuana, everyone. Right? Ganja, everyone? Yeah, knows ganja?
Yes, yes.
Narcotics, drugs. Okay, now I will tell you a pattern. In these days, smoking marijuana is like very common among youngsters. Okay, I work a lot on drug abuse with youngsters. Lot on drug abuse. Now I see a pattern there. Okay, someone, during the 90s and 2000s, due to the pop culture, associated ganja with Lord Shiva. Okay, that this is something that Lord Shiva smokes and this and that. Okay, and everyone wanted to be cool, that I'm like spiritual. Okay, so they related spirituality with ganja. Okay, and then they justified it. Okay, they justified their drug abuse just because it is linked to a god who is revered in the Indian culture. Okay, and that is why, and this is not the case actually. Lord Shiva, in Shiv Puran, there is nowhere written that he used to smoke ganja. There is nowhere written that. But then it is made like that it is considered, spiritual. So let's smoke ganja, and then it is considered cool. So this thing I call the subdued conformity. Subdued conformity is if everyone wants to be a B grader, then everyone else joining the group will also become a B grader. Because they always want to conform with others, because if they dare to be different, they would be expelled from the society. They will be expelled from that community. That community may be 5-10 friends only. They would be expelled from that. No, you are not like us. You are high or low. You go. Okay. So that fear of rejection is always there. Amazing point, and this is an amazing thing to answer as well. So I'm writing fear of rejection. What else do you feel? What are the challenges in your teaching with students? Anyone else?
If we ask them to come prepared for the class, only a handful or one or two come prepared. So that is a very big challenge, particularly when we handle a case study. Maybe the case is distributed to them, sent to them by mail the previous day, and we would have asked them to go through the case, do a kind of analysis and come and collect related facts and figures and material related to the case. But excepting barring one or two, all of them will come empty-handed, even without skimming through the case. That is a very big challenge to move forward in a class where we would have planned that we want to do something very useful, take them through a real life situation, and bring some kind of analytical skills in them. But we will go back and we will have to brief the case, spend some time on that, and then build on that. So that is a challenge, according to me.
Okay. I'll try to answer these challenges as and when you're speaking, because it becomes a conversation, better conversation, and we also stick to points. Ma'am, this particular point of not being serious, okay, towards studies and whatever content is being given to them. Now you understand and try to understand that they also have 24 hours and you also have 24 hours. Okay. Now, if you know that they have to do this particular case study or whatever homework you have given them, they have not done this, but they were doing something at that time, something else that they were doing at that time. Yeah. That means in their brain, they made that something else more important than doing this case study or doing that homework. Yeah, That means that their logical mind, it thought through everything. Okay, I have to meet my girlfriend, I have to meet my boyfriend, I have to meet my this, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do ganja also, and I have to do housework also, and I have to do homework also. No, I will keep all of this as priority and not this. Now understand that they also have 24 hours, okay, and they are putting something else on priority, not studies. That means that they see this, whatever you are teaching, as something which is not relevant to them. Understand? They are seeing this as something which is not relevant to them. I will give you my example. When I was in my MBA, I did my MBA from Jaipuria Institute of Management, Noida. It's a B grade school. But I was like F grade, so I don't have a right to call any college A grade or B grade. But then, in my financial management classes, I am a dyslexic. I cannot see numbers. Okay. So what I used to do was I asked just ask questions from teachers, whatever they were saying. And most of the time when they used to give me numericals to do, I would not be able to do it. So I used to write poems. Okay. So when I used to write poems, they used to come and then they see that, I'm writing a poem. And in the poem, okay, I used to be writing the same concept that they were teaching there. Okay. The same concept that they were teaching there. For example, is anyone from finance and accounting here?
Yeah, tell me, sir. Tell me, sir.
Okay, so you know about accrued interest, ma'am, right? Accrued interest. Now,
Okay.
accrued interest is something which is a theory. It's a concept, right? But
Yeah.
when I could not explain the concept in form of words, I made a diagram out of it in my paper. So probably it was the first diagram which was made on accrued interest. Now, my form of learning was different. Okay, I could not learn. They wanted to teach me. But if my teacher was someone who could teach me the way I want to, then I would have taken interest. Isn't it? So what I want to say is, and what I want to suggest is that whenever you are teaching, okay, whenever you are giving a case study, always connect that particular case study to something which is very important in their lives. Just do that. Try doing that. Whatever you are teaching, it can be anything, because any damn thing in the world can be connected to life as it is. So whenever you are teaching a concept, make sure that you connect that subject or topic or case study or whatever to their own life, so that they know that by doing this thing, I will get this, and they are not marks. Please, they are not grades. Do not give the dhamki of grades. Do not give the threat of grades. Your grades will go down and this and that. No. If I am learning, case study is meant to be an experience. Otherwise, that case study would have been in form of a text. Why do we have case studies? Case studies is that this is a theorem. This is the thing written in the book, and this is a case study in which this thing exactly worked, or probably this is the exact scenario of the same theory, isn't it? So whatever you are teaching, you may be teaching even biology. Okay, if you are teaching biology, anyone from biology here? Anyone from biology? I'll give you an example. Anyone from biology, or someone who has studied biology or zoology?
Yes,
No
sir.
one?
In intermediate.
You are from?
I'm from Bangladesh.
You're from?
Bangladesh.
Bangladesh. Which subject do you teach?
Just biology and zoology, two subjects.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. So you teach biology and zoology. Okay. Now there is a concept called facultative mutualism. Do you know this?
No, sir.
Okay. Facultative mutualism. I will explain it to everyone. Everyone is with me now. Understand this concept. Facultative mutualism means that if there is an organism, for example, there is a crab called hermit crab. Okay. Now this guy has very good legs. Okay, it has very good legs. It runs very, very fast and it's very strong. Okay? But it does not have a shell. Okay, it does not have a strong shell. So what happens is, when it is inside the ocean, bigger fishes come and eat it up. Okay. So what? And there is another organism called sea cucumber. Okay, so it stands like this. Okay, like this, and it is a sedentary animal. It does not have legs, so it would sit somewhere, and it has tentacles here. Okay, it has like, finger-like things, going like this, and they are poisonous. Okay, so what it does is it goes and fixes itself to a surface, and these tentacles they just move around and catch whatever food there is around it. But if there is no food coming around it, it cannot eat. Okay, so what the facultative mutualism, what it does is that the sea cucumber goes and sits on hermit crab. Okay, now hermit crab has great legs. It will move around. Okay, and sea cucumber will be sitting on it, and it will be having lot of food to eat. And because of the sea cucumber, it has poisonous tentacles. None of the fish will come close to the hermit crab to eat it. Understand such a wonderful concept, facultative mutualism. Okay, everyone got what I said? If no one, if there is any confusion, tell me, because I am going to the next level. You got it? Everyone got it? I am supposing that everyone got it. So hermit crab, runs, along with the sea cucumber on its shell. Sea cucumber helps the hermit crab protect, and the hermit crab helps the sea cucumber gain food. Okay. Now, how do you connect it to the daily life? Now, if you connect it to the daily life, the same thing happened with Hero and Honda. Hero Honda, the bike company, the world's biggest bike company, it was motorcycle company. Hero used to make cycles. Okay, they had great distribution network across India. Okay, but they did not have the technology to make that cycle into motorcycle. Okay, so Honda came from Japan. They said, we have great technology, we have great machines, but we do not have a distribution network. So Hero and Honda merged and became Hero Honda, and that became the biggest company. That became the biggest joint venture. So facultative mutualism is actually a joint venture of two companies. One's weakness is other's strength. This other's weakness is other's strength. So if I am teaching facultative mutualism or business, I can use this example to tell students about it, isn't it? This is something that they can relate to. Oh, wow, yes, I know Hero Honda. I know this, I know that. Okay. You get it? So this is how, whenever you're doing a case study or whenever you're doing a topic, always connect to their lives so that they find more relevance to it. If they find relevance, they will automatically get attracted. Okay. Any more challenges that we have to write down? Then I will go to the challenges and then probably answer them. I think 12:25 it is already time. So what I'll do is I will do one more concept, and after that I will go to the challenges, answer that, and after that I'll take questions. So the biggest problem that we get is anyone feeling tired or bored? Can we do a clapping session? If you want to clap, जवाब ही नहीं देता है सब. Hello. हाँ ताली बजा सुनो ताली बजा. Let's clap because last point is very, very important. Do like this. Do like this. Do like this. Everyone. Do like this. Do like this. Do like this. Do like this. Last point is very important. Okay, so learn this and help your students with it. So the first two challenges that we spoke of was distraction and lack of confidence. Okay, now I'm teaching you one amazing thing, and this is all of my things are actually very original because I hardly got taught by anyone. So I always looked for knowledge inside, and my inner light or whatever you may call it, it gave me all the knowledge I needed. So it taught me something very beautiful, and I'm sharing it with you now. So you may share it with others as well. So when we talk about lack of confidence, or you know, people who are not extrovert, who are not able to answer, who are not able to move beyond their complexes and things like that. How do we deal with that? Because 99% of the people that are present here, and the people that you meet in your life, everyone has a this fear of rejection from others, fear of not being good enough, fear of of not being accepted, fear of not being accepted. So this fear is with everyone. Now, about this fear, okay, I will tell you about the construction of a whole human being. The human being is the human psychology is I see it as in three parts. It is like the inner shell, the outer shell, and the outermost shell. Okay. Now the outermost shell, which we all are actually, it consists of our behavior, etiquette, and how I look, how I speak, okay, how I present myself to others. Now that is called the personality, isn't it? And anyone would judge me with my personality. For example, if you are looking at me on the camera, on the phone right now, you have judged something about me. Okay. Can you do some judgments? Anyone? Whoever is online, you all have to do some judgments about me. You can say anything. You can say, you look like a dacoit or whatever you want to say. Just say, just judge me. Judge me and we will learn together.
Bengal tiger, sir.
हाँ sir, हाँ ma'am.
Bengal tiger.
Bengal tiger. Okay, wow. Okay, judge me, judge.
You seem
by
to
looking
be
at me and by
open
listening to me.
new ideas. You seem to be open to new ideas.
I seem to be open to new ideas. Okay. Next. Judge me. Don't praise me or need not compliment. Judge me. Properly judge me.
Sir, with your body language, you are looking confident and passionate and focused.
Okay. Again, judge. Anyone else? Anyone else?
You also look like someone who get agitated or angry when things are away from your belief. When someone is when something is against your belief, or someone is doing something against your belief, you might take it straight on.
Yes, yes. I'm very, very passionate about my work. Someone comes in the way, I simply, kick them off. So I'm not a conformer. I do not conform because I call myself a madman, ma'am. How do you expect a madman to be a conformist? I do not conform to please people. I don't have time for that. So I'm kind and compassionate to everyone, but then I'm very ruthless to people who actually object on my path, because the places I work in are very sensitive places. Anyone who is like faltering on anywhere, it's gone. So that's why I'm very, very, very intolerant towards people who are negative, or intolerant to people who are actually regressive. So that is right. Any more judgments? Okay, I'll start. So the outermost thing is called personality. Then below that is the person. Okay, can you see this? Okay. So this shell is called the personality. Okay. Just below that is the person. Now, what is the person? Person is that personality is something that you're showing to the world outside. But person is something that you are showing or what you are with the people that you love. That may be your family, your loved ones, your spouse, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, anyone, whom you love, your friends, okay, closest of friends. Now that is your person. For example, if I am like this in my personality, do you think I would be the same with in my personal life? No, I'm not like that. I am very, very harsh and dynamic in my personality, in my outer life. But in my personal life, I'm like a mother to my friends and people. I'm just like mother. I'm very warm, caring, and someone who would accommodate more people. I would accept anything that they do. Even if they hit me, they abuse me, they do whatever, they do it. I never ever react. So that is my person, speak. So that your person is the self that you are with your loved ones. Okay, everyone got it clear? Now below the person, now here is the spirit, this part. And this is the spirit. Now this part, spirit, is something that you and only you know about. It is not someone that even your parents or your wife or your husband or whatever knows about. It is your own true self. And this spirit is within everyone. Everyone knows what they are and who they are. Okay. But due to some, so first of all, when we are growing up, all these personalities are automatically growing together. My spirit self is also growing. My personal self is also growing, and my personality self is also growing. Everyone with me? So when I'm growing up, my spirit self is also growing. That they may be my opinions, suggestions, thought structures, mindsets. Okay. Now that is my spirit self. Now this spirit self, when it interacts with the personal space, that is when it decides, okay, these are the people that I love. These are the people that I love, that are close to me. Okay. Now this spirit, when it interacts with these people, okay, it creates situations. It creates situations. And with those situations, our whole spirit self sometimes holds back some of its traits and forwards some of its traits. For example, if I have 10 traits in my spirit, okay, and I have around 20 people in my personal space whom I love, okay, now I will interact with all those traits with everyone. Then I will see that they are not reacting to this one. So, isko chupa lete. Isko, let's hide this one. Then I interact with another one. Oh, isko bhi. So we might be working in our personal space with only 6 to 7 of our spirit traits. It is not the whole of our spirit self that is working with them. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. You are never, ever true to 100% true to anyone. Your spirit self is something that only you know about. Even your partner may not know about it. It is only you that you know about. So we have the spirit space and we have the personal space. And then after the personal space, we go outside into the personality space in which we are talking to the world. Now, the most of the problems and challenges that we are facing happens actually in the personality level, right? For example, if you are a teacher, if you are with your students, okay, it is your personality speaking to them, not your spirit or your person. It is most of the time your personality speaking. Yeah. And similarly, it is the personality of the students which is speaking to you also, isn't it? You do not expect your students who is getting taught by you for only a month or so, telling you about their deepest fears or deepest feelings, isn't it? So it is an interaction of the personality with the personality of the teacher with the personality of the student. Now understand that this personality, when I talk about fear of rejection and acceptance and things like that, lack of confidence, where does lack of confidence come from? Very important. Sanjay sir, please keep down the phone. Sanjay sir, please keep down the phone. Yeah. Very important, listen. So basically, listen. If I have a problem in my spirit, very important next 10 minutes, understand, and your whole life will be sorted. Suppose if I have a problem in my spirit self, suppose if I feel that I have, some, if suppose if I'm ugly, I feel if I'm ugly, I have, gynecomastia. Okay. Gynecomastia means male breasts. Okay. I'll tell you with an example also. Now, when I was in school, I used to be, sexually abused by my, classmates. They used to come and then, snatch upon them and then kick me that, you are growing breasts and you are becoming a girl. It was a boys' school. Now, when that started happening at the age of, like 11 or 12, during puberty, I started feeling very bad about myself. That, why did God made me like this? And why do I have this when I do not want this? If I'm a boy, I should have, a normal body, but I have a disfigured body. What do I do with that? I used to feel very low about myself. Now, in my spirit self, now what was happening in my spirit self, I had started hating myself. I had started hating my body. I had started feeling less about myself. I had developed the complex of inferiority. I had an inferiority complex that I am not man enough. Because of the definition of the man was someone who is like, totally trimmed and six-pack body and like, speaks confidently, this and that. But I did not have that. Moreover, because of my condition, education was also a problem. So I was never a good scorer. So I was also below average marks in this and that. I got 33 percentile in CAT exam, MBA, 33 percentile. I right now teach in all the IIMs in Harvard University along with Stanford and Newcastle University in UK. So, and all of them are like, after my life, he please teach us. Now that is the transformation that came, I was 33 percentile in CAT. So you see how the transformation happened. So what happened was when I was in class 6, 7, I started getting abused also. And after my dad's death, it all, came all the more. And it was very problematic. So because of the fear which I had in spirit, what happened to the person? In my personal life, I became very reserved. Most of the time, I would be alone, spend time alone, did not talk to mother or brother or anyone in the family. I did not have many friends, whoever were, close by, they used to come, but they also refrained from, interacting with me, because if they interacted with me, others would, make fun of them, you are engaging with him. So, we don't want to talk. So they used to, keep away, even if they wanted like me. So they used to keep aloof so that, they are not associated with me. Okay. So in my personal life, I became reserved. Okay. And because of that, in my personality life, I became very unconfident. I used to walk like this, so that, my chest area is not visible to people. Okay. And I always used to hang my head like that and walk, so that I did not see people who are, mocking me and who are making fun of me. Okay. So now you see the whole scenario. In my spirit self, I hated my body. Okay. I developed a complex in my spirit self. I started thinking that I am not beautiful enough to exist in this world. Okay. Because of that complex in my spirit self, I developed the thing in my personal space, which was reserved life. I used to be introvert, reserved, not talking to many people. Even if they loved me, I did not talk to many people. And because of that, reservations in my personal space, in my personality, I became unconfident, lack of confidence. Okay. Full of fear of rejection, fear of being down, destroyed. Okay. So you see how this transformed, this complex in spirit transformed in this, lack of confidence in the personality. Okay. Yeah, everyone understand? Sanjay sir, आप ऐसे सर हिला दो तो मेरे को पता लग जाएगा, पता चल रहा है? So this thing, spirit is connected to the person and person is connected to the person. So if he heals the spirit, okay, it transforms the person and it shines into the personality. Now you see what I did. I'll tell you the story, then I'll explain the concept. When I lost my father, after that, I was getting abused, this, that, and one fine day at the age of 13, I decided I'll commit suicide. So I took all my mother's sleeping pills and went out in my lawn at 2 o'clock in the morning. Everyone was sleeping. And I went out and then I thought I will pop all of them up and then drink water and then I'll, die here only. So I specifically chose lawn so that everyone can actually find me there, in the morning that I'm dead there. And as soon as I was having those pills in my mind, I was going to pop them up. Something came up into my mind. Okay, it said that right now your heart is beating. Duk, 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 duk. My lungs are breathing. Yeah. My kidney is functioning. I'm feeling hungry. My stomach is working. I'm standing, so my legs are working. I have this thing in my hand. I'm holding it. My hands are working. Each and every organ of my body is working, and it is working for the next moments to come. Because when your heart is beating, actually, when it pumps blood, that blood is used after 1.5 seconds in your body. That means the heart is working in the hope that this person would be alive for next moment. Imagine if the mind is telling you, yeah, you should die. It should actually, this is the brain. The brain is the god of all the organs, right? It is the master of all the organs. It should tell each organ, you kidney, you go, you die. Heart, you die. Lung, you die. And everyone dies down and you die down. But why does not that happen? So I thought to myself that each and every organ of my body is working, but my mind is asking me to die. How is that possible? So I thought that this particular cell, these cells of my body are not under my control. It is in no one's control. Otherwise, the easiest way to die would be just stop breathing. Right now, try. What will happen? We will, stop breathing like that, and suddenly this will happen or not? Suddenly, your lungs would squeeze oxygen into your body, even if you do not want. Try. You will try to die right now. And after 15 seconds, you will. Why is that happening? This is your lungs. It is your property. You can ask it to stop. You can ask it, hey, lungs, stop here. I don't want you to be working. Isn't it? You can ask your heart यार छुट्टी ले ले तू 2 दिन की. ठीक है, वो लड़की छोड़ के भाग गई, थोड़ा दुख मनाने का. दिल टूट गया मेरा. दिल कैसे टूटता है आज तक नहीं पता मेरे को. How do heart break? How hearts break? We don't know. So joking. So at that moment, I thought, my cells in the body know something else, and that each and every cell of my body is working to make my life possible. And that means each and every cell of my body has a lot of hope in it. And I, at that moment, decided that this is my life and this is my thing to make. I will always get inspired by the hope in my cells. I will not get inspired by anyone, Mahatma Gandhi or whatever, or this and that. No. I will get inspired by the cells of my body who are working in the hope of making my body alive for the next very moment. Many moments. So I threw those pills and became the madman that day. Because till then I was being mocked that tu pagal hai, pagal. Pagal in Hindi means mad, okay, insane, lunatic. They used to call me, pagal hai, kuch nahi aata, ye nahi ho. From the next day I became the madman. And anyone who came to mock me, I guess I am the madman. You're talking to the madman. I teach madness. And from that day on, I became madman. And all these used to come and snatch upon me. From that day, I bullied them in return. Like, you come and touch me and I will hit you hard. Just because you're hurting me, not making me think less about myself, you're just hurting me, I will hit you hard. So I came over my complexes and fear at that moment. Okay. But the wonder that I am came 10 years after. Okay. अंकल क्लास चल रहा है, क्लास अभी, हाँ उस पे चल रहा है। नहीं खाना नहीं खाऊंगा, मैं वहां जाऊंगा अभी नहीं, अभी ठीक है आके देखता हूँ जी। हाँ हाँ जी जी मिलो, ठीक है। सॉरी फॉर द इंटरप्शन। So uncle came for lunch if I wanted to have lunch. So well, now the wonder that I became, that came 10 years after. So at the age of 24, I was already into entrepreneurship, and I used to support various orphanages by giving educational tools and money for their upkeep and development. So in Tamil Nadu there is a place called Krishnagiri, and in Krishnagiri there's a orphanage called Shanti School. So in Shanti School, I used to go, and there is a orphanage there. So I was there, staying there for 2 days. I brought some computers and this and that for the children there. So they brought in a girl child, and she was approx 2 days old. And when they brought her in, she was found in a garbage can. Someone had dumped her and then went off. So they brought her to the orphanage. So I took the girl in my hand, and then she started, patting on my chest. So of course she was hungry, and it is human nature. So I asked the caretaker there, the lady, that she's hungry, you can just feed her milk from the bottle. She's not taking it from the bottle. So I said, you can give your milk, and then probably then introduce the bottle, because she wants human touch and human warmth. So that caretaker said something that broke my heart, and she said that she's not my daughter. Why would I give that? That broke my heart, but it also gave me my biggest gift. I thought, God has gifted me with a body that can actually make her feel warm. I removed my t-shirt and then pressed her on my own chest. Now that particular child that was hungry and crying, she started suckling onto my chest, okay? And while she soothed down, I slowly pushed the bottle into her mouth, and she started drinking milk. At that particular moment, it was a very moment. I'm a man. I'm not expected to do this. I'm a man who is, in a society which thinks that someone with gynecomastia and male breasts is someone who is less of a man. But at that moment, I became something more. I became the wonder of a woman. The wonder of a woman who has the ability to create all this world, all this. And I have the honor and the blessing of being the only man who has ever fed a baby, probably. And at that moment, I achieved, something which was much, much more than what this world can give. My biggest weakness that people said, my biggest, curse became my greatest blessing. And I still have them, and I'm proudly a man, and I'm like, amazing. And this all happened because I answered somewhere in my spirit, and that came out in my personality. I'm very disfigured. I have a paunch, I have, male breasts, and I look, disfigured, according to the society norms. But it is all, what I feel about myself that makes me dynamic and handsome. And I know I'm handsome. All the ladies can tell me if I'm handsome or not. Yeah. So spirit, person, and personality works like this. Always understand. Now, why I'm saying this is that when you are talking to your student, or when you are reacting to your student, you are talking in personality, you are listening in personality. But whatever problem that you are seeing in the personality is somewhere in the person or the spirit. So try to heal that, try to look at that problem. Someone may be good in spirit, but they have a problem in their personal life. That someone may be a very good person, but they are with the wrong partner. And if they are with the wrong partner, they would always be, not very good in professional life, because they are always being, troubled by that partner. If someone is a great student, they may not have a very good personal relationship with their parents. And if they do not have their good personal relationship with their parents, they would not be very, very confident in their personality also. So try to see not problems as something to react upon. Try to see problems as an ailment, as a disease, as a disorder, and that disorder, that disease can be healed, because you teachers are not only teachers, you are gurus who are doctors and who are healers. A guru heals. So always look at that root of the problem. If a child is being disrespectful, if a child is being lazy, if a child is being unconfident, if a child is being abusive, why is that child reacting like that? If you start seeing from this perspective, I am sure your life would be amazing. Because you will be transforming many more lives than what you think. And the last thing I want to share about is that this world is a world of reaction. We all are actually product of reaction. We have always been reacting to something or the other, and whatever that reaction was, we are continuing with that. For example, if someone said, you look fat and you have a paunch, and you should not, be confident. If I started reacting to that, I would still be very unconfident, isn't it? If we got betrayed by someone, 10 years ago, we would stop trusting people. But actually, that distrust and that betrayal happened 10 years ago by a certain person. After that, just because that person betrayed you, you became a reaction, and that you continued that reaction. Suppose someone betrayed me, I don't trust you now. From now on, I will not trust anyone. And even if good people come into my life, I will not trust anyone, because I am a effing reaction. I am a reaction. And this world is full of reactions. Everyone is reacting. You talk to anyone, they will react. So how to stop that? Stop receiving from people. Stop receiving from the world. Start acting on it. Stop reacting to life. Start proacting on life. And when you start proacting, what you will be doing is you will be giving all the have in spirit out to the world. No matter what judgments people make, it doesn't matter. Because if you are a product of judgment of other people's lives, you are actually living their life, not your life. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. If there are 10 people sitting here, someone says, your mustache is very bad, I will clear off my mustache. Okay, now it's fine. They'll say, okay. Someone say, I do not like eyebrows, I will remove my eyebrows. Now it is fine. Okay. Someone says, you have long hair, cut them off, I will shave my head off. That is fine. Okay. Someone says, you do not speak good English, I will stop speaking English. Is that fine? Then, okay, this is fine. If someone says you are fat and I will do something and then become thin. Now it is fine. Yeah, now it is fine. After 100 odd people, I would be nothing. Actually, someone would be having the problem with anything I may have. Someone or the other person may have a problem with something that you have. They may not like my shirt, my personality, my behavior, my body. सबको कुछ ना कुछ तो problem रहेगी आपके साथ. And if you try to change, and if you change yourself, just reacting to them, you will become nothing. You will become nothing. Okay? So stop reacting to life. Stop reacting to these people. Stop reacting to what life is giving you. Start proacting on life. Do not let life affect life in turn. See what you are doing with your life. See what you are doing with your students. Do not react on these things. They say we have not done case studies. Fine, you have not done case studies. Okay, fine. That is fine. That is totally fine. What is the reason that you have not done case studies? If you find that reason, heal it. If you find that situation, heal it, and then make them do it. And if you make them do it, you will create a world that no one has ever seen before. I don't know, what is the time? I think it's already time. I've met बहुत ज़्यादा बोल गया. I'm not sure if this was relevant to you. I'm sorry, but then this is what I had to share. I don't know if it is relevant or not, but I'm very, very happy that I could say whatever I wanted to say. If it feels relevant to you, if it's working for you, then it is good. If it is not, then I'm sorry to take your time and have wasted your time because of this. If you have liked this, please go to my page on Google and Facebook and Instagram. Please follow me. Share your reviews. Please get connected with me on WhatsApp and Facebook and wherever. And right now, I'm working on 3 amazing projects. If you want to help me with voluntary and financials, so one is a toy that I have invented which can stop child abuse. It is a toy that teaches 2 to 7 children from 2 to 7 years age group about good touch and bad touch. It is world's first toy to stop the child abuse. And second is my malnutrition product, which at only 2 rupees per day can eradicate malnutrition and hunger from the bottom line and the poorest of the poor. And the third is an idea that is working on making humanity more accessible. So teaching kindness and compassion is something that we are looking at. So thank you so much, everyone. And any questions you may have?
Sir, it's
take those questions.
It's a wonderful session, sir. May I have your contact number, sir?
1 second. 1 second. Hold on, please. 1 second. Hold on. Yes, please. You were saying.
Yes, sir. Your session was quite wonderful. As every minute or every second of your session, you have tried and successfully engaged the audience also in your conversation, in the talks which you were doing with us. That was quite very much relevant for all of us in dealing with our day-to-day problems and how we can enhance our personal self also to develop and enhance our personality. May I have your contact number and details, sir?
That will be shared by ma'am, I think. Otherwise, you may write it down. My contact number is 97 +91 India code 97.
Yes, sir.
429.
Yes, sir.
48.
Yes, sir.
882.
Okay.
My Instagram handle is madman.forever. madman.forever, FOREVER. And you just type on Google Swapnil Tiwari Madman, you'll get a lot of links on my journey. And on Facebook, you can just find Swapnil Tiwari the Madman. And on Google, my company's name is The Light Mission. The Light Mission. So you may go there and review us as well. I will send a link to Nitha to share it with you guys. Please go and review us. And please talk about the session, what you learned. Even if it is negative, please write there. It helps, take the learning forward. So I request all of you to do that. Any more questions if you may have, I would love to answer. Or if you want to say anything about the session, it would really help me.
If there is no questions, we will end the session.
I think everyone is left off. Boring ho gaya,
Very hungry, sir. No problem. We'll end the session. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Swapnil, sir, for taking out your precious time and for sharing the knowledge. Thank you so much. Sir, this video will be uploaded on YouTube. I will also share